Cinderella story within itself. I can't. My brain is all over the place right now.
Pretty impressive, really is. I mean, it's just a lot, the kids that do this, like tournaments, involve a lot of luck.
Welcome into Road to a Championship. I'm Chris Roush. Thank you for joining us for this trip to the Elite Eight for the NCAA Division II basketball tournament. We've got two area college programs making it this far. Northwest Missouri State men's basketball team for the third straight year. They'll go to Evansville, Indiana on Tuesday. But first, we start with one, if not the best run in Missouri Western women's basketball history. The Griffins, a Cinderella story, and dancing all the way to Birmingham, Alabama.
6 on the clock. She goes left. Backdoor cut. Dilsaver baseline pulls up the floater. Won't get it to go. Time expires. Missouri Western State pulls off the Cinderella story, and they have won the Central Region Championship by a point.
It's a Cinderella story within itself. I can't. My brain is all over the place right now.
It's not that people didn't think it was possible for Missouri Western to make a run. It's just that it wasn't probable. Odds weren't exactly in their favor. After all, there was no guarantee the Griffins would even make the NCAA tournament, on the bubble heading into the MIAA tournament, losing in the tournament semifinals. But the selection committee saw enough out of this Griffins squad, an at-large bid, and the fourth MIAA team to make the regional.
They start with 7th-seeded Missouri.
An uphill climb for the Griffins, starting with 2-seed and Great American Conference Tournament champs Southwestern Oklahoma State. But it didn't faze this group, scoring a record 111 points and hitting 15 threes.
I thought we took great shots. They were open, they were in rhythm from people that we have a ton of confidence in shooting it. And they shot it with confidence and are playing with a lot of confidence right now. And
we just ran the court, and the other girls were just getting open, and I was finding them. I was able to find them. They're good. They're good at running the court, I can tell you that much.
In the Central semifinals, they struggled out of the gate against MIAA foe Nebraska Kearney, but mounted a comeback to advance to the Central Region Finals.
I think they played a very physical game compared to usually, so I think we were just adjusting to that.
I thought Josie was a huge momentum changer, not just because she made shots, but because she brought a level of fight and toughness to her, and then everyone got on board with that.
And in those finals, same type of story, falling behind double digits after one, trailing by 15 at the break, but it didn't faze the Cinderella team, especially Jalen Haggard in the fourth quarter. 12 of her 19 coming in the final 10.
Every shot she took, I just felt like, I just could tell. She just shot it with such confidence. And
then there's Brianna Budgets, held scoreless all game until 8 seconds to play.
Budgets drives against Randall, gets the separation she needs, and drains the shot. Now it is Griffins by 1.
Missouri Western stunning the top seed in the region and punching their ticket to the Elite Eight for the first time in almost 30 years.
Just thrilled they get to continue, and they're making memories that for them will last forever.
And over the years, there's been some really good Griffins teams. 2016, 06-07 team, but that's a complicated season. It happened, but never officially happened due to NCAA violations. So we go back to the mid-90s when the Griffins made back-to-back Elite Eights. So it's a special season for the Griffins now.
They earned the right to play in this game, and that was always our focus. You are good enough. So just go play. I mean, I've told them that every single game. You are enough. You don't have to do something crazy. Go play together. Go play like you've been playing.
When it comes to March Madness, the Griffins living up to it. And they've got another chance to keep this Cinderella story alive when they head to Birmingham for the Elite Eight.
Just happy. We're just thrilled. I'm thrilled for our players to get to experience this, and they've worked extremely hard and really bought in.
It's been an incredible run for this team, especially for the hometown kid, as KQ2's Danielle Soxie has more on Jalen Haggard's run to the Elite Eight.
The hometown girl, now the hometown hero. In what might have been the last 70 seconds of her career, the Central High School grad Jalen Haggard made the biggest basket of her life.
Minute 18 left, Haggard with a 30-footer. Got it! 19 for Jay!
And it's a Cinderella story within itself. My brain is all over the place right now.
Jalen had a special performance in the second half, and you could see it all over her. She was just going to make plays.
An elite-level shot punching the Griffins' ticket to the Elite Eight for the first time in almost 30 years. But this isn't the first time Haggard has made career-defining buckets.
I think we were in the second overtime, possibly headed to a third. And we had last possession, and I run a play for Jalen, and she comes off, and she actually banked in a three at the buzzer to win it for us. She drilled it, and the place erupted, and her teammates, dogpiled her.
Boone saw something special in the sharpshooter and knew Haggard had a long career ahead of her.
She was going to give it her all because she's a super competitor. And, having a kid that competitive with that type of work ethic, it's a dangerous combination.
In all-city, all-district, and all-conference performances in high school, she went on to be the MIAA Freshman of the Year at Northwest Missouri State while breaking shooting records as a Bearcat. And she kept this ultimate competitor mentality for her final year, back home in St. Joseph at Missouri Western.
She's just fearless and awesome.
She's had some ups and downs with basketball. This was icing on the cake. This is so good.
Scoring 19 points in the Central Region Championship game. A three with 5 minutes to go, sparking a special 12-point run for the hometown kid and the Griffins.
I mean, that was the greatest thing ever.
We came to compete, and I think right now we're peaking, and if I'm other teams, I'd be scared to play us.
I wish I had her longer, but I'll take the year we get with her.
There is still time left, though, but it's up to Haggard and the Griffins to keep this Cinderella story alive.
And we're going to go to Alabama and keep fighting and keep playing tough and see how long we can make the season go.
Reporting, Danielle Soxie, KQ2 Sports.
Plenty more still to come on the road to a championship. A look at the Bearcats' return to Evansville. But first, it's just her third year at Missouri Western, but Candy Whitaker is having one of the most successful seasons in her head coaching career. We'll take a look at her path after the break. Welcome back to A Road to a Championship. The Griffins will try and continue their Cinderella story on Monday against Grand Valley State. We saw the images of Jalen Haggard and the other Griffins hoisting that regional championship high. And we also witnessed Candy Whitaker having the opportunity to hoist it herself. And KQ2's Danielle Soxie with more on the third-year Griffins head coach making it to the Elite Eight.
It hasn't been the easiest road for head coach Candy Whitaker, but it sure has been worth it. For the first time in her career, the Texas native is on her first trip ever to the Elite Eight as a coach and player. I sat down with Coach Whitaker as she reflects on this journey of the team while fighting for a national championship.
It's a new journey and it's a new team.
In her third year leading the team, Coach Whitaker has taken a young group of girls from 7 different states, now leading Whitaker to her first Elite Eight ever.
It is. I told the team that. I thank them for that because I've only been to Sweet 16, so very excited to be in Elite Eight.
It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies to get to this point. The Griffins went 6-16 the previous year. Whitaker got to work in the offseason and was able to build a postseason squad.
If you look at the individuals that went through that tough season, and tough for so many reasons, the ones that went through it, right in front of my eyes, it took a while, but you just started to see light bulbs come on.
And the light bulbs came on. This team plays with energy, passion, and lots of fun.
You can tell they love playing together. They love basketball, which is so refreshing. There's nothing worse than people that feel like it's a job. It's a game that you get to play in college, and it's a short amount of time in your life you get this opportunity. So I just think you see a group that understands that and is really jumping on the opportunity to play and to continue to play and compete at a high level.
There's been some hard times too, and Whitaker has one of the best support groups in the nation to get through it, her family.
For me, it just provides unbelievable balance. I think it definitely makes me a better coach because I'm not tied up in things I don't need to worry about. And I think it, gives our players probably better balance than maybe a coach that's micromanaging their every move.
Her husband, Matt, and her 3 sons, Weston, Will, and Cal, cheering from behind the bench or sleeping every single game.
When we lost against Missouri Southern, in the conference tournament. It had rained here, and we get home, and Cal is just jumping in every puddle you can find in our driveway. And I just thought, it's time to move on. Time to be mom and have a good time. So I joined him in the puddles.
Coach said it took some time to adjust to this team's loose style and silly personalities, but realized that she had to embrace it fully for this team to win. Whitaker said they are having fun, and there is nothing wrong with having fun because that is what makes this team great. Reporting in studio, Danielle Soxie, KQ2 Sports.
Taking a look at Whitaker's 3 years at Missouri Western so far, her first season back in 2019-2020, 21-8 mark, 13-6 in the MIAA, including 14-2 at home. Second season, not a year the Griffins and Whitaker really want to reminisce too much about. Just 6-16 overall in a season filled with a youth movement and in conference-only schedule. Then, of course, now the magical run, 24-9, 14-8 in the MIAA, 13-3 at home, 4-1 on neutral site courts so far. Griffins taking on Grand Valley State on Monday in the Elite Eight down in Birmingham, Alabama. Still to come, we take a trip up north to visit the green and white, the Northwest Missouri State men's basketball team, and another St. Joe kid who wore the green and white in high school, proving to be one of the best guards in Division II. We'll take a look at Diego Bernard's story after the break. For the third time in 3 NCAA tournaments, remember there wasn't a tournament in 2020 because of the pandemic, the Bearcats now have made it to 3 straight Division II Elite Eights. It's something you don't see very often, and when you do, it's something to appreciate, and that's exactly what the Bearcats are doing. For the third straight Division II NCAA tournament, the Northwest Missouri State men's basketball team is back in the Elite Eight.
Our team, they just fight, like they're just fighters. There's nothing pretty, nothing unreal, just fighters. They just fight, and that's just who they are.
It's hard enough to make 1 Elite Eight, but to make 3 straight, the Bearcats have to be one of the best night in and night out.
I'm probably not a big excited guy, on stuff like that, but it's pretty impressive, really is. I mean, it's just a lot, the kids that do this, like tournaments involve a lot of luck, and they just keep doing it. So I wish I could say it was all coaching, but it's the furthest thing from it.
Northwest defeated Minnesota State Moorhead in the opening round of the Central Region.
Back at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Northwest Missouri State in the opening round game. In the first game of the opening session, defeats Minnesota State University Moorhead 69-54.
Pulled away from a tough Washburn-Ichabod squad late to advance to the Central Region Championship game.
Northwest Missouri State with the win, 70-55 as they defeat Washburn-Ichabod.
Then there was the region championship, the Bearcats playing the top seed on Augustana's home floor in front of a hostile Vikings crowd.
Now top of the key with the dribble is Hudgens, right side Waters, out front between the circles, Hudgens, fakes left, goes right, shot clock at 8 seconds, step back long three by Hudgens, nothing but in.
Northwest led Augustana by 9 at the break, thanks in part to a ridiculous 3 by Hudgens at the buzzer.
I mean, I looked over to the bench, Max said he got 3 dribbles, so just took 2 dribbles and threw it up there, so I happened to go in.
Second half, the Bearcats did what we've grown accustomed to seeing, pulling away late and cementing their spot in the Elite Eight, hoisting another trophy and cutting down the nets.
There's something about March and playing defense, and obviously the saying goes, defense wins championships. You're seeing it out of this Bearcat team once again. Coach Mack has said time and time again, this team is writing their own story. They're not the same as these other groups that we've seen come through and win national championships, and they're finding other ways to do it.
With so much success, the Bearcats have every right to be cocky, arrogant about heading to Evansville once again. But they know it's not about what you've done, but what you're going to do.
One, the second you do that is the second you lose it all. 2, because we win a couple basketball games doesn't make us better human beings than the next person. And so understanding that your job is, and this is, day one for our program is we pick up chairs in the gym and we help them understand that your objective and what you're here for is to serve other people. And so regardless of if you win games, the best leaders serve.
Will the Bearcats make it 3 straight national championships? We'll have to see, but what a run it's been so far for the Bearcats from Maryville.
I'm just excited. We worked hard all year. It's been tough at times, but just keep on going. We just been fighting, and I'm just excited to get to Evansville.
3 straight Elite Eights, pretty impressive. But what about Trevor Hudgens and Diego Bernard being 14-0 in the NCAA tournament? Let that sink in. An unbelievable run for this backcourt so far. And as KQ2's Mitchell Ribrall explains, Bernard impacts the team's success in a variety of ways.
Thanks, Chris. The Bearcats are back in the Elite Eight once again, and one of the big reasons for that is Diego Bernard. Here's more on his impact.
I still think he's the spark plug on our team, defensively and offensively.
An energy booster, spark plug, defender, those are just some of the things that could be used to describe Diego Bernard.
His energy and his violence on the floor, brings, a confidence to our team, an edge.
The junior Bearcats guard is a big piece in another postseason run for Northwest, and in his time at Northwest, Bernard has already won 2 national titles and has been named an MIAA All-Defensive Team Player 4 times.
Defensively, he's a juggernaut. Like, you've all seen him for the past 4 years. He's very special, very talented. Just provides that energy that we need day in and day out.
And he has helped lead the Bearcats to their 3rd straight Elite Eight appearance this season. And Bernard, coming from Lafayette High School, has always been a big spark for any team that he has played on. And choosing Northwest as his college, something familiar to him just popped out.
It was just a family atmosphere, and just like I had back at Lafayette, and I was just trying to stay green, I guess, and go up the road. It wasn't too far.
Bernard was a multi-sport athlete in high school and even looked at playing football at the next level.
I really didn't have, I had a lot of interest in football, but I didn't have really that many offers. So, basketball was the choice that I was going to pick, and I'm glad I picked it.
And picking basketball, a great choice as he is playing in his 3rd straight Elite Eight.
Just the winner go home mentality. Going, it could be our final game. Just go in there and just try not to leave anything on the court. Just give it my all and just live the results.
And has tallied more than 1,600 points, 750 rebounds, and almost 400 career assists, helping solidify himself as one of the best Bearcats to play in Bearcat Arena.
Bernard's future is uncertain with the Bearcats at this point, but at least for now, he hopes to lead this team to another national championship. Reporting in studio, Mitchell Ribrall, KQ2 Sports.
Coming up on Road to a Championship, the Bearcats will look to win their 4th national title in program history, which would also be the 4th since 2017. The common denominator in all of it, head coach Ben McCollum, his story next. Welcome back. It's hard to be a coach at any level, but it can be hard to be the head coach at your alma mater and be the guy that replaced the man you played for. But that's exactly what Ben McCollum did. After the Bearcats Central Region Championship victory, head coach Ben McCollum took time to thank a lot of people for putting on the tournament, including one name familiar to Northwest fans.
And of course, Dr. Bob Boerichter. He also knows how to hire people too, so.
The moment doesn't seem like much, but it's a lighthearted moment going back more than 13 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the head men's basketball coach at Northwest Missouri State University, Ben McCollum.
It was Bob Boerichter who hired McCollum back in 2009 to be the next Northwest head coach.
We knew he was capable. We knew he could coach. I was very convinced he was the right guy for us.
After Steve Tapmeyer stepped down, Boerichter went right to work to find the next man to lead the Bearcats. And he started the interview process with McCollum.
Less than 48 hours after Coach Tapmeyer had announced his retirement. So he had not a lot of time to prepare for that interview. And he was so clean and clear and crisp and organized and impressive that I came home from that interview and told my wife my goal is to find somebody better than Ben McCollum.
McCollum, an assistant at the time at Emporia State, knew the Bearcat program after playing and being a grad assistant for Tatmeyer.
He understood Northwest, he understood the MIAA, he understood the program, he understood the challenges. He also understood how he had to grow as a head coach. He was able to identify all of those things and address them.
So Bo Richter interviewed McCollum first, and you don't think a 27-year-old assistant is going to make a huge impression, but McCollum did.
It takes a brave person to be able to, hire a 27-year-old unproven assistant coach and just trust your gut, and he did.
It wasn't that McCollum was arrogant or anything like that. He just wanted to compete, and that drives him to be the best. So he wanted the opportunity to lead the Bearcats.
I had confidence in myself, and more in my just competitiveness, more than confidence in just my ability to coach. I knew that I would compete. I knew that I had a really good staff that would compete with me.
I don't remember Ben ever saying it's going to be my way. I just remember him saying, this is Bearcat basketball, and this is the way the Bearcats are going to play and what we're going to do.
It's well documented the first 2 seasons were anything but great, and it helped McCollum that he had leadership in place that was going to let him build the program his way and stick with the process.
I think understanding that I'm naturally a pleaser, and so if people, are micromanage me, it's not going to help. I'm going to put more pressure on myself than anyone else.
Bo Richter's watched McCollum's rise from his AD chair, also as the MIAA commissioner, and over the course of several Central Region tournaments.
If anybody in America could be cocky, it could be them, and they're not. They're confident, but they're not. They're very humble, and I really appreciate that, and I think Bearcat fans love that about him.
So looking back on that March 2009 hire, Bo Richter does know how to hire. He trusted his gut, and by naming McCollum the head coach, arguably made one of the best decisions in recent Northwest history.
He's obviously built a Hall of Fame resume already, and so that's what we're seeing as it relates there. But his career is far from over. He's going to impact a lot of lives, and he does that also very well. And I think that's one of the things I'm really proud of, to see how he has become a total coach.
All right, so let's take a look one more time at the Elite 8 matchup for the Griffins. Missouri Western women, the 7th seed down in Birmingham, Alabama, taking on Grand Valley State. Can the Griffins keep their Cinderella story alive? And in Evansville, Indiana, on Tuesday, the Bearcat men, the 5 seed, taking on Bentley in the Elite 8. The Bearcats trying to win their 3rd straight NCAA championship. That will do it for the Road to a Championship. Thank you so much for joining us. The Griffins and the Bearcats trying to bring home national titles this week. We'll have highlights, reaction, and much more throughout the week right here on KQ2, as well as on KQ2.com and across our social media platforms. I'm Chris Roush, and thank you so much for watching The Road to a Championship.
It's a Cinderella story within itself. My brain is all over the place right now.
Pretty impressive, really is. I mean, it's just the kids that do this, tournaments involve a lot of luck.